And we are live. So I want to go to the page. Perfect. Hello, everybody. We're going to get started here in 1 minute. So I'm going to share it. I have to tag you. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so I got everything shared. Make sure. Okay. So it is 7 o'clock on the dot. Are you ready?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. All righty. Well, so hello, everybody. My name is Megan Pinckney, and I am founder and CEO of Joseph's Ministry, LLC. And I have the honor and the privilege to be here tonight with our newest author, Amanda Hill. How are you, Amanda?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So before we get started to talk about your new book and workbook, can you please tell the people about who you are and just some of the amazing things that you have going on right now?
Absolutely. So as you said, my name is Amanda Hill, and I've worked in corporate America since 2006. I'm also a wife and a mother, and I've worked in the fitness industry for a very long time. I am a fitness guru. I've competed in figure and bikini competitions since 2010 as well. Let's see, what else do? I think that pretty much sums it up. I will also run Keys to Ministry. I run Keys to Balance, excuse me. And what that is, that teaches people how to live a balanced life spiritually, mentally, and physically. So that's truly my passion.
Wow. So that's so awesome. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for writing this amazing book. So the name of your book is The Power of the F Word in the Workplace. So before we even dive into the content, tell the people about what is the F word and how did you come up with this actual title?
Yes, it's very provocative, right? It's the power of the F word. And that's truly what I wanted. I wanted to grab your attention because we all know when we hear the F word, what we think about. Yeah. This F word actually means forgiveness. And so this is about forgiveness in the workplace.
Wow, that's so awesome. So you talk about corporate America a lot. Why did you think it was important for you to specifically write a book about forgiveness, specifically for the workplace?
Absolutely. It's a great question. So for me, like I said, being in the workplace for so long and seeing so many people miss opportunities because they truly are bitter. They're angry. They can't get over that one meeting. They can't get over that one email. They can't get over that one situation that occurred. And so what I've seen happen is that they won't join particular teams or they won't deal with certain people, all because of that one offense that happened to them. And so I've seen so many people miss out because they just don't know how to let go. They don't know how to forgive. And so that's why I thought it was important to really teach people on the importance of just why forgiveness is so vital in the workplace.
Wow. So thank you for answering that. So for those who may not know the meaning of forgiveness, can you tell us your definition of forgiveness?
Yes. So for me, forgiveness is for me. It's not for the other person. For me, forgiveness is moving forward, it's development, it's learning, it's powering through, it's wisdom. For me, forgiveness is being able to acknowledge something happened, understanding why it happened, and having the wisdom now to move forward and let it go. And like I've said multiple times to people, just because you forgive someone doesn't mean you got to have coffee tomorrow. That you may never want to associate with this person again.
Right.
You may not ever want to be their friend, and that's okay, because forgiving them has absolutely nothing to do with them. It's about you. You're not giving them a pass.
Yeah.
You're not saying what they did was okay. You're just acknowledging what happened, and I'm not going to allow that offense to hold me back on what I'm trying to accomplish.
Awesome. That is so good. And I'm thinking like, man, this has everything to do with life skills.
Absolutely.
Not just being in corporate America, because like most of us, 8 hours of our day, we're spending it at work, at someone's job. So yes, learning to forgive at work is so key, but we have to learn to forgive at home as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm so glad you said that, Megan, because as you know, we're all built up of our childhood, adolescence experiences. And that's what dictates who we are as a person.
Yeah.
So if we don't deal with that inner work, if we don't do the therapy that we need in order to forgive our past, because we all have different triggers, we're going to bring that right into the workplace. We're going to bring that right around our coworkers. Like you said, we're with these people all day. And so you have to be able to identify, what is it about this individual that keeps triggering me? It may not be her or him. It may be something within yourself that you've dealt with throughout your childhood, adolescence experiences, and now you're dealing with it in this corporate space. You're always replaying different events, right? It's just different faces. And so the key is to be able to truly get in and figure out what is going on, so that it stops hindering you from where you need to go, where you're trying to get at. What is the goal? And let's make that our target, not the offense.
Wow, no, that is so key.
Yeah.
I can tell you personal stories from my own experiences from work. But we do have to know that, hey, we can't separate life at home versus life at work. We're the same person. We're the common denominator. So we separate the two. So when we do encounter Jeff at the water cooler and he has attitude today, it may not be you. It may be, his dog died.
Yeah, maybe he just had a brand new baby and just kept them up all night. And he's
mean,
grumpy because he didn't get any sleep last night.
right.
Yeah, don't take it personal. You have no idea what's really going on in Jeff's life.
Right. So we do have to understand, and that again, this can go, in my opinion, from workplace to home experiences as well. And just when we encounter people in Walmart, in the line in Walmart, or at church, or at home, whatever the case may be, just kind of let it go and forgive quickly. And don't hold grudges.
Absolutely.
I think with all of that being said, I believe everybody knows at this point what the F word means, what you explained, and what their personal definition of forgiveness means.
Right.
But what motivated you to write about this specific topic? There's so many topics that you can write about specifically for corporate America, but why forgiveness?
There's so many different stories that I've experienced throughout my career, but one really hits home. And I wrote about it briefly in the book. And that was where I had a supervisor and we did not get along. And this particular supervisor had a really big offense. If you read the book, you see exactly what she did to me. And I could have totally went left with it. I could have told everybody what she did to me, how she did it, and just really made her look like the bad guy. And a lot of people would have justified. A lot of people would have been on my team and said, yeah, and I could have made a big deal out of it, but I chose not to. I chose to keep it to myself. I chose to continue to push forward. And eventually I ended up getting a promotion. And in that transition, before moving to the next team, she unfortunately passed away. Wow. Before her passing, we did have an opportunity to talk. We did have an opportunity to be able to be on a good level with each other, right? And we spoke literally the day before she passed away.
Wow.
And she was 35 years old, very young, in her night, had a stroke in the middle of the night. And so for me, when I got the call the next day that she passed away, I had no bad feelings in my heart.
Yeah.
I was at peace because we had that conversation, and because I didn't go and make her name bad. I was able to walk into the office and no one was looking at me any type of way, like, oh my God, how she feel.
Right.
That wasn't there. And because of that, I was like, wow, I'm so grateful that
Yeah.
I let that go. I'm so grateful that I didn't ruin her reputation or my own, right? Because if I would have been the gossiper telling
Yeah.
everybody what she did, I would have ruined my reputation, because that would have been the highlight. Like, oh my goodness, you were talking about this woman just
Yep.
a couple of weeks ago, and now she's had an untimely passing.
Yeah.
So for me, I learned so much from that. And it happened early in my career, and I never forgot that. And so for me, it was always a process of, I'm not going to hold grudges. I'm not going to gossip. I'm not going to talk bad about people. I'm just going to continue to trust and let it go and focus on my target and what I'm trying to accomplish.
Wow. No, that's a lot. What
Yes,
you did.
yes,
That's a lot and so unfortunate.
yeah,
But there's so many things that I heard you say. Um, you don't gossip. And, and
correct.
and I tell people within society, it's so inviting nowadays. It's so easy to just say something about someone and you just don't know sometimes the whole situation. But I always tell people you do reap what you sow. You
Mhm.
don't want to be on the other end of the gossip. So, try not to, say that about anybody else. But a scenario popped into my head while you were talking. What if you did not have that conversation with her the day before?
Mm, yeah.
Um, how do you think you would have felt?
Wow, that's a great question. I think I would have felt really bad,
Yeah.
because she was young,
Yeah.
and she had a family, and I knew in my heart, she wasn't a bad person. you
Mhm.
know um she was just in a very stressful place,
Mhm.
and it was a lot of stress at home. There's a lot of stress coming on her because it was a new project,
Yeah.
and she was just trying to get it done. And I don't think that she did it with the thought of hurting me. It was just, let me just get this done.
Yeah.
And so I think I would have felt really bad, honestly. And because I know my heart, I would have been it would have been devastating, honestly. Yeah.
So how do you bring in the F word in that situation? Had the second scenario happened, would you been able to forgive yourself? Would you been able to forgive her even though she passed? How do
Yeah.
you think
So
that would
at
have
that point, it would be forgiving myself, right? And I
gone?
talk about that too. Like, sometimes you're in a situation where maybe you can't have that conversation with that person. Maybe the person's already passed away. Maybe the person is unreasonable. So you don't necessarily want to have a conversation with that individual. So a
Right.
lot of times you kind of just have to deal with it within yourself. Journaling whatever you're feeling down, talking about it with a close person that you trust,
Mhm.
and being able to forgive yourself in that moment. Because if not, you're just going to continue to hold on to that pain too. Of like, oh my God, I'm a terrible person. How could I have done that? Blah, blah. So at that point, it's definitely working on forgiving yourself and learning from it, so
Yeah.
that if it ever occurs again, you can say, okay, I'm not going to miss it on this one.
No, that is so
Right.
key because
Yeah.
and I bring that up because that may be half of the scenarios that may read this book. Say, I
Yeah.
messed up.
Yeah.
I need to learn how to forgive myself.
Yes.
We want to bring both sides because not everybody's going to get it right on the first try like you did, which is
Absolutely.
amazing. But we want to bring like, hey, maybe you did get it right. Hey, learn to forgive yourself because I mean it can
Absolutely.
happen to anybody, and just
Absolutely.
learn from it because you could have been so devastated that you actually quit your job before you actually got promoted, and then your whole career would have been totally different, and we
Totally
may
different.
not have been sitting here right now talking about a book that you wrote because you didn't write it.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
No, it's the truth. Absolutely. Right. It's all about choices, right? At the end of the day, life is about choices. And so
Yes.
you try your best to do the best you can, and move forward. That's all you can do. But like you said, you have to forgive yourself. You might miss the target, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Pivot and get back on it, and keep moving.
Wow. And it kind of brings in the point before we move to the next question, make every decision, say everything as if it was your last time,
Yes.
as if it was your last words,
Yes.
because you don't know.
don't know.
You don't know. So
Absolutely.
thank you for that back and forth, because I know this is helping, will help so many people, even those who are watching on the replay. So with this book that you've written, the power of the F word in the workplace, how can managers and team leaders use this book to help lead their groups?
Oh, great question. So this really will help with if you feel that there's tension within your team, right? And a good manager would know that. A good manager could be able to have, okay, guys, we have our morning get together, and you feel that tension. Sally don't want to talk to Susie. You know, you got this whole thing happening, and you're just like, what is going on,
Right.
right? This book allows you to for the person to look within and to be able to say, am I holding a grudge? And it's a good way for them not to take it as if you're saying, look, you got a problem, Susie, with Sally. So you need to go talk to Sally. It's letting them do that work within themselves. And
Mhm.
with that, it allows you to have better retention, because people will tell you if they leave jobs, it's normally not the job, it's the people.
No, yes.
It's normally who you work with. You're like, I cannot stand this person. I got to go. Right.
Right.
And so being able to let things go or operate in forgiveness in the workplace, it will absolutely increase your retention. And with that, it will help you with productivity, because now Sally can talk to Susie and they can be able to get those projects done a little bit easier without holding on the grudge and not feeling like I can't talk to her or communicate with her anymore. Right.
Right.
And ultimately it helps with mental health, because if you're have all this anxiety, maybe you're a strong introvert, maybe
Yeah.
you battle with a lot of crowds, maybe you battle with different things, and so you don't quite know how to go to those team outings, and so the other teammates may look at you some type of way, think you're antisocial, but you're not antisocial. So what it does, it allows other teammates to may not be so quick to judge and say, oh, Amanda's always by herself. Don't think that I'm antisocial. Maybe it takes time for me to build trust.
Right. That's so
Maybe
true.
I've gone through some things, and so I'm not so quick to just jump into happy hour with everybody and build these amazing relationships at work, because I've been screwed over in the past. So it
Right.
takes time for me to build and trust. But
Right.
once I open up, you're like, wow, she's actually a pretty cool person. She's not stuck up, or she's not
Right.
antisocial. So it helps you to be able to take those just those expectations, those assumptions off of thinking you know somebody, when
Yeah.
everyone is built up differently from their childhood and adolescence experiences.
Absolutely. So with your book and your workbook can actually be used as like team building,
Abs-
to even break those walls down,
abs-
to have those tough conversations and kind of get to know
Absolutely.
your coworkers just a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. Because as you know, each section follows by discussion points, right? And the discussion points are really meant for you to just go deep within. And this is just between you and that, and you and the book, right? So they're asking you different questions. Have you ever felt this way? Have you ever battled with this before? And you're able to write those things down so that you can get some epiphany moments.
Yeah,
Because sometimes some things are just never thought of because they were never asked.
that's true.
You just never, no one ever asked you. You never thought about it,
Right,
right?
right, right.
So this kind of digs a little bit deeper and really pushes those emotional intelligence moments inside of you to
Yeah,
just add more tools to those toolbox to say, oh, this is why I act this way, or this is why, maybe she's a little bit more, to herself. Okay, let me not pass judgment there.
right.
Let me just kind of step back and let her come to me, or it just really helps you guide you as
Yeah.
far as not thinking that you know everything, or everyone acts this way, has to be this way. And it's not true. Everyone's
No.
different. It's not true.
Absolutely not. No, that is so awesome. And I know, we know that everybody needs these resources. So
Yes.
where can people go to purchase your books and connect with you for this development in their workplace?
Oh, absolutely. So I know we're going to put in the comments or in there my actual website that we can go, the actual bookstore that we can go to get it. But it is going to be on all platforms that you can think of: Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, everywhere you can buy books is
Yeah.
where the books are going to be sold. And you can actually reach out to me on Keys to Balance, on Facebook. You can reach out on Instagram. You can always on Facebook. You can always find me at the Amanda Hill, the Amanda V Hill at Instagram.
Awesome. So if you had any last minute words that you wanted to leave with the audience on today, what would you say?
Oh my goodness. I would say understand that forgiveness is for you.
Mhm.
It's not for the other person.
Wow.
And no longer go another day missing what you want in your life because of a past offense. Let it go. Find out what you're passionate about. Focus on that. It's okay if it's uncomfortable because anything that has growth is going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Create a discipline of forgiveness. Create it as a lifestyle in your life. Forgive quickly. That way you can reach your goal that you're trying to accomplish and not allow another distraction to come in and hinder you or push you in an opposite direction than what you're trying to reach.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Amanda. So, guys, if you're out there and you have been inspired, encouraged by what Amanda is talking about in her heart for forgiveness, and you want to reach out to her, please reach out to her. Please purchase your books, even if it's not for you. If you know it's for your boss, Christmas is coming up. So, we want to make sure we get some good Christmas presents. They're going to be productive. Okay.
Exactly.
Buy some nice Christmas presents for folks. But please, we're gonna put her bookstore online store link in the chat. But please reach out to her. But if anything that we have said on tonight has motivated you to step out and write that book, that you know has been in your heart for years. We want to work with you at Joseph's Ministry. So I encourage you to go to our website at www.josephsministryllc.com and book a consultation call with us as soon as possible so we can discuss what's in your heart. What are your desires for your book and things like that. So I hope you guys have been encouraged. You have been enlightened about the F word in the workplace. So
Yes.
Amanda, thank you so much again, really for really writing this content, because I do believe that it is information that is so beneficial for those who work in the workplace. So
Thank you.
thank you again for your time. It was awesome working with you. And guys, we will see you another time for another author interview. Have a good night.
So much. Bye.
Bye-bye. 1 second.